There's the grid for you on screen then. Thanks to those of you tuning in to the live stream. Hope you're enjoying the action so far. We've just had the DD2s go out. For those of you who are just joining us, first of all, welcome. This is the 2018 BNL Karting Series, round 1 from the Genk circuit in Belgium. My name's Chris McCarthy. A pleasure to be doing the BNL Karting Series for another season. This is the KZ class. What you have missed so far is Junior Max, Senior Max, DD2s. Unfortunately, we were having technical issues during the Micro and Mini Max first races. But after this, we will see all the classes for their second race. So stay tuned with us, even if the KZ class is not a thing you are planning to watch. First of all, you can see how quick they are going around this circuit. Second of all, we'll be straight into the second finals after this. Micro Max will be at 40 minutes past 2 local time here in Belgium. 3 o'clock on the dot, we'll have Mini Max. Junior Max will be at 20 minutes past 3. 45 minutes past 3 will be Senior Max. 10 minutes past 4 will be DD2. 35 minutes past 4 will be KZ. Don't forget, that's all local time here in Belgium. So if you are elsewhere in the world watching, make sure you check the time differences so you're with us in time. If you cannot be with us for today, and indeed all of tomorrow, because we do it all over again then, all the races will be uploaded to YouTube. So all you'll have to do is search for the BNL Karting Series, and you will find the videos. They'll all go up online after the weekend. That every single final will be uploaded. And watch all the final facts. That includes anyone around the circuit. If you want to watch the races back when you get home, then you can do so. But we are now getting ready to go. The grid once again: Robin Glerum, Thomas Cypers, then it's Glenn Vandenhoek, Jimmy Devine, Toon de Winter, Lars Ladenois, and Mark Verhoeven. Here we go. Oh, and a stall there for Thomas Cypers on the front row, and that caught Jimmy Devine out. Had to try and go around the outside. So I think that's well, it's not Robin Glerum who's leading. I think that's Glenn Vandenhoek who is leading the way. Then it is second place Robin Glerum in the Durel ART chassis, the red and white suit there. Third place. Now that could be anyone. That could be Toon de Winter. For all we know, it was a real sketchy start from the front row there for Thomas Cypers. Just didn't get going off the line. Got caught out. This is the first standing start of the weekend, of course, as they now head through the gears down towards the right-hander by the cafe, down towards the final corner now, and it looks as if Glerum is already starting to recover here, putting pressure on our race leader as we go across the line. So it's Vanderhoek, as we may have expected, leading the way, but not for long. Oh, and contact between the leaders. Robin Glerum going over the top there of Glenn Vandenhoek, and that has allowed Toon de Winter to go into the race lead, and a bit of a comfortable one at that for the time being. Just not on was that move from Glerum. He thought he saw a gap, but the gap quickly closed, and Glerum had no other option but to go over the top there of Glenn Vandenhoek. So it's Toon de Winter who now leads the way as they head through that left-hand hairpin back down towards our position. Robin Glerum in second place. It looks as if Glenn Vandenhoek has recovered to third place. So Glerum's going to have to take the lead once again. That time a much cleaner move made down at the last corner, and Glerum goes into the lead. Second place then is De Winter. Vandenhoek is third. Cypers is fourth. Oh, but Glerum is losing the lead once again. So fighting back there was Toon de Winter. He may have qualified fifth place on the grid, but he is not prepared to follow Glerum round here. So it's Toon de Winter leading. Then it's in second place Glenn Vandenhoek. Then it is Glerum in third place. Cypers, after stalling on the grid, is in fourth place. I say stalling, getting away slowly. Then it's Jimmy Devine who was caught out at the start from a slow starting Cypers. And then we have behind that Lars Ladenois and Mark Verhoeven. Look how close they are heading down towards the final corner. We may only have 7 of them here, but you'd have to say any one of them could win it at the moment as we head down towards the the first corner. 13 laps to go. And are we going to see any more changes? We don't that time. That's the first time I think Glerham's gone into turn one without making any moves there in third place. Through the left-hander, now into the right-hand hairpin before the back straight. And it's still Toon de Winter who is leading the way at the moment. But here they go. It's a long run down that back straight before they hit the chicane. No changes this time. Cypers, as we take a deep breath for the first time, Cypers is sat there in fourth place. Fifth place, Jimmy Devine. And then Lars Lardenois in sixth place, sorry. As down towards the final couple of corners. Are we going to see any changes this time? No, they're all pretty much evenly matched at the moment as we hit the start-finish straight. But Glerham in third is lining up a move, I think. Here we go in towards turn number one. And there comes a challenge then from the 216. Glerham takes second place away from Glenn Vandenhoek. And going through to third place on that Zanardi chassis is Thomas Cypers. So Cypers from the front row dropped down the order, has recovered from fifth place now back into third. Now he's challenging the pole sitter of Robin Glerham, who's been up and down the top three like a yo-yo in this race. But Glerham now finally starting to get back in a position where he might just be able to challenge for the lead once again. Toon de Winter has just been getting on with things out front here. As through the left-hander, down they go to the last corner. And Toon de Winter still leading the way for the time being. Down the start-finish straight, but Robin Glerham's got a good run. Will we see him move into the first corner? Yes, Robin Glerham down the inside there, goes into the lead now. Noticing that move, you may have noticed that just before they hit the brakes, Glerham just pulled to the outside of the circuit. Just did that to open up some space on the inside. He pulled to the outside of the circuit, turned in later, gave himself a tighter run into the first corner, and that allowed the space to open up. Cypers there, you would have just seen, went into second place. So that one, just as we were talking about Glerham, we saw that move being made down the end of the back straight into the chicane. So Glerham it is then in the lead. Cypers in second. At last, as we approach 7 laps into the race, it is the drivers who started on the front row, first and second. It's not exactly been a smooth run for them, but they are finally back to where they started. Oh, and it's all kicking off behind. Glenn Vandenhoek there, not happy with Toon de Winter, as putting his hand up to say, what on earth are you doing? Lars Lardenois is there in third in that queue. He's trying to make some positions as well. Then it is Jimmy Devine at the back of the queue. Mark Verhoeven in a bit of a lonely seventh place at the moment, but that's a reflection on what we saw in qualifying. So Verhoeven just trying to gain some ground on the rest of the field. Ahead of that, we've got a very closely knit field. It's fair to say we've got 2 leaders out front and then 4 drivers in chase. Any one of these 2 up front could take the win. It's Glerham versus Cypers. I don't feel we're going to be saying that for the first time this weekend. I think this could be an on-running theme, Glerham Cypers. This could be the start of their fight throughout the weekend and indeed the championship as they head into the hairpin onto the back straight. We're at half race distance almost. 8.5 laps to go. Cypers hasn't led this race yet, but I think Thomas Cypers is about to go for a move here, unless he's going to take a more patient approach. Glerham looking under pressure, and Thomas Cypers sat there in second place, doesn't have anything to worry about behind him. Is he going to try and make a move, Glerham, or is Glerham about to try and break away out front? Certainly in third place, Vandenhoek has escaped from the likes of Toon de Winter, who was once a race leader, of course. Lardenois is still in fifth place, holding off Jimmy Devine. Then it's Verhoeven in seventh place. 2 leaders head onto the back straight for another time. This is the 9th lap of 16, and there goes a move down the end of the back straight. Thomas Cypers going past Robin Glerham. So Cypers into the race lead then. A good move that, just left it to the braking zone to do it. left it to the last minute to pull out of the slipstream. Thomas Cypers timed that move perfectly, takes the race lead away from Robin Glerham, who once again finds himself now having to fight back. I'll tell you what, if he takes the race win here, it would be a very hard-fought race victory from Robin Glerham. He's not been easy for him so far, and he's got to be careful he doesn't let Thomas Cypers escape with things here. He has to put Glenn Vanden Hoek, who's behind, to the back of his mind. Vanden Hoek is there, but I think will only get involved if these two up front continue to battle, because Cypers is currently got the fastest lap of the race in the lead with a 52.624, but that was on lap 2. So right at the start of the race was when Cypers set that fastest lap, and ever since hasn't been able to go any quicker. With a 52.8 last time, so they're pretty much keeping up the pace that they had. But Cypers now just with a bit of a gap, just under 4/10 of a second. Vanden Hoek in third place has set a new personal best lap with a 52.8. And here's a good battle going up behind. Oh, Jimmy Devine there in the blue livery, just getting caught out, and I think perhaps just missing a gear or something, but did not get a good run out of that first corner. Lars Lardenwar trying to go past the fourth place driver of Toon de Winter, a one-time race leader, a long-time race leader in this race. Now some 3.2 seconds back from the race lead. And look at Thomas Cypers out front. He's pulling the pin on Robin Glerham here. He's running away with this now. I'm not too sure if Glerham's been making some mistakes, or if this is a case of Cypers finding something else. Oh no, I think Robin Glerham's got a problem here. He's pointing down at something. Glerham definitely has a problem with that kart. He is struggling with something. He was pointing down just as they passed the mechanics grandstand there. He's got something wrong with that, and Glenn Vanden Hoek would have seen him do that, and now will either just stay where he is and wait for Glerham to really start to struggle, or he'll go past, knowing Robin Glerham probably won't fight him too hard. Only time will tell. It's still very close for fourth place with Toon de Winter, Lars Lardenwar and Jimmy Devine. Oh, and there goes the move, and you can see putting his arm up, Robin Glerham is coming into the pits. Oh, what a disaster for the pole sitter. Robin Glerham is into the pit. He's got a problem with something, and Robin Glerham, I'm not sure if we're going to see him at all in this race. What a disaster. Led the race. He did have contact. Oh, and there goes a move. We'll come back to Glerham, because that is a change there for I think that's fourth place, as Toon de Winter is trying to retake a place back. Was it Toon de Winter, I think, losing a place to Lars Lardenwar? De Winter is now having to hold off Jimmy Devine. So that looks as if it was Lars Lardenwar going into what will now be, of course, third place, with Glerham coming into the pits and retiring from the race. That's now the battle for third rather than the battle for fourth, and it looks as if Lars Lardenwar is leading that one. Let's check the numbers as they come past the pole position. It is Lars Lardenwar in third, so the battle on screen there is for fourth place between Toon de Winter and Jimmy Devine. Not long to go now, only 3 laps to go, in fact. Going back to what we were going to say on Robin Glerham, I kind of forgot what it was now, but well, of course, that was it. He had that contact earlier in the race, didn't he, when he tried to make a move down at turn 1, as Jimmy Devine almost went for a move down the end to the back straight there, but we saw that bit of contact going into the first corner where he actually went over the top of Vanden Hoek, and I wonder if that had anything to do with why Robin Glerham has had to retire from this race, because it was pretty heavy contact. It didn't do much damage to Vanden Hoek apart from losing a lot of time, but Robin Glerham, I feel that may be the problem. If not, perhaps something more to do with the engine, but if I had to take a guess, that's what it would be. Now, Jimmy Devine versus Toon de Winter is now the main focus on track. 1.5 laps remaining. There they are on screen at 4th and 5th place. Every place counts in this one. Scoring points, same amount of points as you will in the race later on, and indeed all races throughout the season here. So Jimmy Devine will be very keen to get past Toon de Winter here. He'll know that he was once leading the race, so for him to be actually this close to Toon de Winter, for him will be a positive thing. Now he'll want to make that move, but the last lap board has gone out. It's been shown to Cypers, who is comfortably leading the way at the moment. Thomas Cypers, as they head up towards the hairpin for the last time. Who would have thought when we were watching the first few laps that we were going to see Cypers win this one by 3 seconds? I wouldn't have been surprised to see Cypers win, but certainly not by this much. I thought it would have been a race that would have gone all the way down to the wire with 4 or 5 drivers involved. But somehow, Thomas Cypers has managed to pull a gap. He set a fastest lap, 52.624. He's pulled a gap. He's been by far better than anyone else in the second half of this race. He's a fully deserved race winner. Thomas Cypers out the last corner, takes the race win. The first race victory of the season in KZ goes to Thomas Cypers. Second place to Glenn Vanden Hoek. Lars Lardenwar finishes in 3rd place. Toon de Winter in 4th place. Jimmy Devine finishes in 5th place. Verhoeven finishes in 6th place. That's Mark Verhoeven. A 53.7 in the end for Mark Verhoeven. So he's gained about 4 tenths in terms of lap time to the leader in this race between qualifying and now. So good progress on the 262. The big story though, Robin Glerham, the pole sitter, retiring from the race with 5 laps to go, had some sort of mechanical problem. He didn't get the mechanical flag, but he was clearly carrying a problem and was not comfortable to carry on. Glerham is going to have to start race 2 later on from the back of the field. But that's your race winner going into the pits. That is Thomas Cypers. He takes the win from Glenn Vanden Hoek. Lars Lardenwar finishes in 3rd place. Toon de Winter in 4th place. Jimmy Devine 5th place. Mark Verhoeven 6th. Robin Glerham, the non-finisher, 7th place. So hopefully, as well as speaking to Thomas Cypers, Ben might be able to get a chat or get a word with Robin Glerham if he hasn't left already. He hasn't left the scrutineers already, because it'd be interesting to hear Robin Glerham and find out exactly what went wrong. So if Ben can hear me, I'm sure he would have picked this message up. I'm sure he'll be going to find Robin Glerham in Park Ferme.